suppose similar to Andy, signing a new deal, was it an easy decision to make?
Yeah, I thought it was a relatively easy decision for myself. With rugby, you got to look at if you're happy on and off the field. Obviously, our results on the field have been a typical rugby roller coaster. Really, we had some high points and we had some really low points. In terms of rugby, I just felt like there was a little bit of unfinished business. Really, my first season here, we managed to make the semi-finals for Europe, finished the top 4 for the Magnus League. Then we've dropped off considerably with that, and I'd really like to see, within my term, being up there again, competing against the Europe's best, and off field. My family's really happy; they're really settled. My boys at school, and if you spoke to them, you'd think he was more Welsh than a New Zealander. So I'm sort of translating with them on the phone to the grandparents. So, yeah.
And obviously you've got the lure as well, I suppose, of a World Cup next year as well. Is that something that's in your mind?
Yeah, definitely. It's obviously the selections and injuries are out of my control, but as a rugby player, it's everyone's dream or goal to be playing in a World Cup, and being home in New Zealand adds the extra benefits and incentives really to try and play well and make that team, because the World Cup is a pinnacle for any rugby player. So yeah, it's definitely was one of the considerations as well.
When you had that opportunity, as I said, with Fiji, was it difficult juggling after when they came to you and asked you to pledge your allegiance, as it were?
Yeah, it was difficult. It was a very busy time of the year for myself. We're just about to have our second child, and there was a lot going on. But in the end, I was really happy with my choice, and being part of the team, it was a little bit of a culture shock, really, because my mother came over to New Zealand when she was 18, so I didn't really have too much to do with my Fijian family, and to be in that environment there, and people speaking Fijian, really, I had to sort of take a crash course in Fijian as well as the moves and that there, but it was a really great experience and a good part of my life, really.
I suppose now, last game of the season has been a tough season in terms of the league especially. It would be important just to finish on a bit of a high.
Yeah, I think we've learned some really harsh lessons this year, and we need to really put pay to those lessons and really show that we have learned some of those lessons that we've been dealing with. It was good to come away last week with a good win against Connaught, to get the confidence back up there, and accordingly we've trained differently before the Connaught game and this game to really make sure that we play a brand that we're happy with, and most importantly that's going to be a winning brand.
So there was a stage during the season, I think probably at the turn of the year, where you seemed like you were turning the corner, you put a few wins together, but especially I suppose with that London Irish win out here and then out in Breed as well. You seemed like you had turned the corner. Yeah,
it actually felt like we had turned the corner in terms of the performances that we wanted to get. But I guess with anything roller coaster ride, there's some sharp turns, some sharp dips there, and that's I guess professional sport really. When you think everything is going all right, soon enough it comes and bites you sooner or later. So I think that was a lesson that we have learned. That even though we've put some good performances together, the away games, especially against Brave out there, we just need to keep consistently backing it up and raising our standards off and on the field.
In terms of Glasgow, what are your sort of previous memories of them playing against them?
I think I've certainly one of the biggest improved sides, both Scottish sides actually, in the Magnus League. They tend to play free-flowing rugby. They've got a good mix to their game. They've got big, strong forwards, and they set piece really well. So we'll make sure that we're obviously focusing on our game, but having a really good look at their games. They're obviously going to be in the semi-finals this year. They're going to play for a home semi-final, so there's that added incentive for them. So in terms of the makeup of the Glasgow side, we're obviously going to look at their strengths, which I think is in the forwards and the set piece, and really try and just make sure that we play our brand again as we did against Connaught. Make sure that we did try and impose ourselves early on in the game.